What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jen here, and we are with little Jeffrey and Dorcas. We're about to start our Rule Zero campaign for dun, 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 Dark Souls, the role playing game. A game where we're playing as Dark Souls characters. Well, these guys are playing as Dark Souls characters, and we're going to build their characters tonight for our campaign in the coming months. So let's get into the session. So, guys, this is almost a replica of the game itself, Dark Souls, where and we'll just go through the story of what it is. You are unkindled. All players in Dark Souls, the role-playing game, are. You are dead. You were dead, long consigned to the grave, and now you are not. You don't know why. You don't know how or why, but you've been raised from the dead. This is far from unique in the kingdom of Lothric and beyond. It is swimming with mindless, rapacious undead. You're different though. You possess a sense of self and mind. You know who you are and what you are. There's little memory, perhaps, but you recollect parts of your past life. You know what you are once were, if not who. And there is one more thing. You don't seem to be able to die a second time. Go ahead and try. You just awaken once again to a next bonfire. The essence of life sparked once in your chest. Weary, bone weary, you drag yourself to your feet and prepare to begin again. But why? What what was made as you are? What forces you time and time again to raise up raise yourself up from beside these burning cinders and heft your weapon? What does it matter? All that matters is that you've been chosen. So, every time you die in this campaign, you will always be brought back to a bonfire. These bonfires you have to light throughout the campaign. If you don't light a bonfire to the campaign, you will not be able to respawn at that bonfire, but you'll respawn at the last rested bonfire that y'all rest at. But tonight we're not going to worry about that. So, who wants to go first in their campaign creation character?
I'll go ahead and go.
All right. What we're going to do right now is you're going to need a d20, and we're going to roll for your backstory.
Okay, I've got said D20. I just roll it, or
Yep, just roll your d20. We're doing a backstory. You have to roll through 1 or 20, and this is what you'll get. If you don't like it, I'll let you re roll one more time.
I rolled a nat 20.
All right. For a nat 20 in the backstory, a knight, a knight. You're certain one of those who rode steeds and sought quest to prove your virtue. Definitely, that was you. That's literally what it says. So, do you want to keep that backstory or do you want to re-roll?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. My pen wasn't working. I had to find a new one, so I'm going to have you do that. A night is what I got.
A knight, stop. You're certain, stop. One of those who rode steeds and sought quest to prove your virtue. Definitely, that was you.
I like that one. I'd ride a steed.
All right, your
That
backstory
steed's
is
name
of
would
a
be
knight.
Torrid. The steed's name would be Torrid. All right.
Okay, so your backstory is going. Your backstory. This technically is what they have done, what they did, what they seek to escape. The table opposite contains several possibilities. You can randomly choose by one or roll. Okay, that was it. Okay, so this is going to be your backstory. You was a knight. So you
Mm-hmm.
can be a knight of Lothric, which this is where we're going to be at. You can either be a knight of
Okay.
Lothric or a knight of Lauren. Either one of those two are the same as the stories for Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. So that would be up
Okay.
to you. And later on, that would be technically what you would want to do.
Knight of Lothric, you said?
Knight of Lothric or Knight of Lauren? Lothrin. My bad.
Lothric.
Lothrin. Okay, you're going to be a Knight of Lothric.
Lothryn.
Ye- I think so. We'll get to that in a sec. We'll get to that later. All right, now you have to deal with a memory.
Okay,
This
we'll
is
roll for that.
memories. Well, let's see. Hold on. Memories. How much do you remember of your past? What remains in your mind, not stripped from you, as the possibilities of true death was stripped from you. The following table contains possible last memories your unkindled might possess, uh, lodged insurmountably in their minds. The unkindled tend to remember little of their lives before, though it is seldom entirely stripped from their recollection. Some remember everything, everlasting moments of their lives before. As with determining your backstory, you can randomly determine your last memory and choose one which fits your concept, or you use the opposite to inspire your own creation. All right, we're going to roll a d20 for your memory.
The roll. I got an 8.
Got an 8. Joyful smiles on the faces of people you love, becoming uh, res- uh, Rictuses. What does that spell? Rick Rictus of agony. So basically, the smiles you see of your loved ones turn into contorted faces of agony.
I like it.
All right. So that one will be, yep, you'll remember smiles of faces of people you love that become turned into agony. Now you're going to do drives. You are dead, but not quite.
Oh,
What's that?
another 20. Another D20.
Yep, but this is gonna. I gotta read off. We gotta read off everything as we go. You are dead, but not quite. You're alive, but not truly. The unkindled are an anomaly. Some believe them to be the only means to save Lothric and the world from the ever encroaching darkness. Others insist you are an abomination, the cause of the suffering slowly drowning the world. Amid these onslaughts of theology, of praise and hatred, you pick up your sword or your talisman. But why? What drives you on? Why, when you are sure to suffer so much pain and rejection, do you gather your memories each time you awaken beside the bonfire and try once more to bring light into the darkness? Now you roll a d20.
I will roll the D20. I rolled a 2.
A 2. To return the sun to this uh, stingent world. So basically, like a sunlight night, you want to return the sun to the world. So you want to bring back the fire.
I just wrote down to bring back to return the sun to this drab world.
Yep, that'll be it. So
Sounds metal as fuck.
So these are your backstories you're going to work with, memories and drives. This is what's going to drive you in through. This is what's going to help you pilot your world, your character through the world. Now we're going to go through your character's origin. So these are the four origins. You have the brute, the fencer, the jack of all trades, and the caster. The brute is basically like, your barbarian. The fencer
Yeah,
is, of course, your dex and or your dex and your fencing capabilities, jack of
you're
all trades.
rogue.
So, yeah, it's like rogue, thief, fencer, or like
Yeah,
Then the jack of all trades, which is kind of like everything, a little bit of everything. You dip your toes in everything, and the caster is your spellcaster style stuff.
yeah.
Now these all of these have a set thing. Brutes are good at. And this is going to be. We're going to read everything off. Brutes are good at taking damage. You can protect your party, drawing the enemy's ire, so aggro. Dealing out pain, you're strong and deadly. With the right weapon, you're unstoppable. You make an excellent knight, mercenary, or warrior. That's where a lot of that comes in. So you make an excellent knight, mercenary, or warrior. Brute's positions are position dice, which is a 1d10 per brute level. Position at first level is 10 plus your Constitution modifier plus 1 at first level. We'll get to the positions later. Position at a higher level is a 1d10 or 6 plus the brute's level after the first. Bloodied effects during combat. During combat, you get when reduced to 50% of their starting position pool, a brute gains the following benefits. They may add an additional +3 to their AC. They gain an advantage to all strength related checks and saving throws. They reduce all damage, then they take by 2 points. The brute statistics: base speed is 30 feet. Your strength is a 15, so it's a +2. Your dex is a 10 +0. Your con is a 14 +2. Your int is +10, or is a 10, so +0. Your wisdom is a 12, so +1 modifier, and charisma is a 13 +1 modifier. Then you have the fencer. Dealing damage. Dealing damage. You are talented with multiple weapons, and you are a formidable opponent. Keeping out of harm's way, you're swift and able to dodge even the most accurate of blows. You make an excellent assassin,
Roll,
thief, or
roll,
herald.
roll, roll, roll.
Yeah, basically roll everywhere. So you'll make an excellent assassin,
Yep.
thief, or herald. The We're gonna get to the position stuff later. That's something we'll have to read up on later. Your bloodied effects during combat, when reduced to 50% of their starting position pool, a fencer gains the following benefits. They may add an additional +2 to their dex. They make an additional reaction on their turn, and they reduce all melee weapon position spent cost by 1. Their fencer base stats are speed of 30, your strength is 12, dex is 15, con is 14, int is 13, whiz is 10, and charisma is 10. The jack of all trades. So, everything you're capable of turning your hand into any task, no matter what might it be. Supporting your party by always having the right skill at the right time. You make an excellent herald, cleric, or warrior. You name it, you can do it, and you do it well. Blade effects. During combat, when reduced by 50% of the starting position pool, jack of all trades gain the following benefits. They may add an additional +2 to their wisdom and their AC. Gain advantages on all saving throws against magical attacks and effects. Remove any one negative condition of their choice. Jack of all trades is 30. Everything is 30 movement speed. Your base stats are strength 13, dex 13, con 12, and int 12, whiz 13, and charisma 12. Then, of course, you have the caster. Exploring an enemy's weakness, your spells are a great deal dealing target damage. Hit at range You can stay away from the enemy melee attacks, keeping your attacks at a distance. You make an excellent cleric, pyromancer, or sorcerer. Bloodied effects during combat, when reduced by 50% of their starting position pool, a caster gains the following benefits. They may add an additional +2 to their intelligence and their charisma and to their AC. When you they may use a special ability. Sorry, I gotta. We're gonna have to mute that. They may use a special ability of an equipped weapon without spending position. While bloodied, a caster does not trigger any attacks of opportunity. That's actually kind of good. Base stats are Strength 10, Dex 12, Con 10, tongue tied, Int 14, Wisdom 13, and Charisma 15. So, with all of those, Derek, which one would you like to choose?
Well, to not get hurt, I would choose the big guy.
The Brute?
Yeah. I also want to be a magic kind of guy, so Jack of all trades is the one I'd go with.
All right, so you want the Jack of all trades. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
you would want, and we'll get back to this in a second. For right now, you would want to say position dice. When you do, for your position dice, you want to add write down 1d8 per Jack of all trades level. Position at first level. A 8 plus Constitution modifier +1 at first level.
Okay.
And,
So here's what I got. Position 1d8 per level.
yep.
Position dice.
And right now, position at first level is 8 plus Constitution modifier +1 at first level.
Okay. So first level is 8 plus. Oh, lost Jeff. I think
8 plus
8 plus what?
8 plus con modifier +1 at first level.
Okay.
Now, position at higher level. Write down
Okay.
1d8 semicolon or 5 semicolon plus Jack of all trades level after first. After you write that down, write down bloodied effects. During combat, when reduced to 50% of the starting position pool, gain following benefits.
During combat, when you lose 50% of life.
Position
Or health.
position pool. Because everything has to do with like position in this game. Gain the following benefits.
I'm going to have to do this a different way. Hold on 1 second. Open up Word.
Okay, while you're doing that, all right, Jeff, with everything that's been done, we're going to go ahead. While he's doing that, we're going to work on your backstory, memory, and drive. So roll for backstory, roll me a d20.
4.
4, a thief, nothing more, nothing less. You stole the earrings of anyone you could, the earnings of anyone you could. Do you want to change that or do you want to keep it?
I'm going to keep that.
All right. Roll me d20 for memory.
A 5.
Got a 5. A roaring for your memory, a roaring explosion, sudden blazing heat, a spray of stone, and then darkness. That was your last memory. Do you want to keep that or you want to start over?
I'll keep that.
All right. And I will say, once all of these are done, these are what you get. You'll have one chance before the campaign officially starts to change your character, but the memories will stay. The memories, drives, and backstory will stay the same. All right, for drives, roll me a d20.
And that's a 12.
You got a 12. All right. To finally erase the mark of the unkindled from your flesh. So a dark sign. It's a dark sign, which is a giant hole right where your heart is. It's a black hole with tiny bits of ember circling it. Do you want to keep that, or do you want to redo the drive?
I'm going to re-roll that one. That one's a 2.
That was a 2. To return the sun to this stingent world. I will say we already got one guy that's going to do that. I will allow you to re-roll that one if you want to.
Okay. A 10.
A 10. To extinguish the first flame forever. I'm going to make you keep that one. Because that means you'll be a bad guy.
Sounds like fun.
Yep. And nothing's really like bad or good. I will say, during the campaign, you, Derek, want to, because of your backstory, you want to return the sun, which also means you want to bring light back to Lothric. Jeff wants to extinguish the first flame forever, which means he wants to bring darkness to the world and bring the Hollows or the Unkindled as the true rulers of Lothric. That's the main goal. And then, of course, we're going to have to go for you to do, Jeff, your Brute, Fencer, Jack of all trades, or Caster. The Brute...
I
I'm sorry, go ahead.
think I'm going to do Brute.
Brute, okay, that'll do with Knight, Mercenary, or Warrior. It's just those are the base those are like the base ones that work with it. You can use any character that you bring into this game is going to run off of whatever off of what these are, but it's later on it's going to be pretty relevant. So yeah, if you want, the Brute pertains to the Knight, Mercenary, or Warrior. The Fencer pertains to the Assassin, Thief, or Herald. Jack of all trades, Herald, Cleric, or Warrior. And the Caster is Cleric, Pyromancer, and Sorcerer.
Do Caster.
All right, so you'll have the choice of Cleric, Pyromancer, or Sorcerer. We'll get to that later. So Caster so you'll have so this you'll have to write down the caster's position. Position dice 1d6 per caster level. Position at first level 6 plus con modifier plus 1 at first level, so the same thing as the Brute, or same thing as the Jack of all trades. Position at higher levels 1d6 or 4. plus caster level after first. And just let me know when you're ready to get the other stuff down.
Okay.
Hey, while he's doing that, and the position dice at the higher level 1d8 colon or 5.
Yeah.
What comes after the or 5?
Plus jack of all trades after first level, so it buffs up after each level of jack of all trades.
Plus T first level.
Yep. Jeff, for your bloodied effect, you got bloodied effects. During combat, when reduced 50% of starting position pool, or PP in this case. Fine, you don't have to laugh neither. You don't have to laugh. Fuck y'all. The caster gains following benefits. You may add +2 to intelligence, charisma, and AC. May use specific abilities of equipped weapon without spending position.
What came after the ace? The intelligence, charisma, and AC getting a +2.
May use special ability of equipped weapon without spending position.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
And this one's very important for a caster. While bloodied, a caster does not trigger any attacks of opportunity. And now, Derek, what did you get? What else do you need after? I guess
Okay.
You need the bloodied effects.
What I have wrote down is bloody effects during combat, 50% precision position.
Yep. Okay. Now, all right, so that's what you get. When this triggers, you may add an additional +2 to wisdom and AC.
May add additional +2. Oh, that's not a plus. +2 to what? Wisdom and AC?
Yep. To your Wiz and AC.
Okay.
You
So the 50% thing during combat, 50% is what I have wrote down. I don't know what that means.
We're gonna get to that. We're doing the characters first. I'm gonna go over the rules with y'all in a minute.
Part of the bloody effects. That's what I have wrote down right after bloody effects. During combat, 50% position.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
When reduced to 50% of their starting position pool. Because everything you do in this game is position during combat, so you have position points. We'll get to that in a minute. We're doing characters right now.
I'm just writing down what you were telling me.
I know.
And
all I did was say the exact same thing you just said. The only thing you're telling me different is that I don't know what that means. We'll get to that. I'm telling you, we'll get to that.
Okay, I was just confused.
Now,
I didn't know if there was more after 50% of position because
I know after
make sense.
No, we'll get to that. I know you're confused. I have to do this too. I am learning as you do.
Okay.
So
What's next, Frank?
when you get your 50% of your position pool is at 50%, you gain the following benefits: additional +2 to your wisdom and AC. Next ability: gain advantage on all saving throws against magical attacks and effects. That's what you got your next. That's what your next benefit is.
Oh, God. Typed it in the wrong spot.
Jeff,
Okay.
what's up?
I don't remember what my memory was.
Oh,
'Cause I didn't get it written down fast enough. I rolled a 5. I remember that.
all right. So memory for your for 5: a roaring explosion, sudden blazing heat, a spray of stone, and then darkness. Which would kind of go good with your caster because you probably got shot by something. or you stepped on something and it made it explode, because there are things here that do that. Your next, and Derek, your next ability that you get on your blade effects.
I have gain advantage on. That's all I've got.
Gain advantage on all saving throws against magical attacks and magical effects. This is what the rule 0 is for, people. While we're doing this this is what happens when you do D&D. When you this is behind the scenes shit. Things get confused.
Okay, so I just wrote down gain advantage against all saving throws against magic shit.
That works. That's fine, because that's eventually we'll do magic attacks and magic effects in the campaign. Now your next ability, everybody gets 3. This is your next ability.
Okay.
Remove any one negative condition of their choice.
One negative
condition.
What'd you say?
Condition of their choice. So of your choice.
Depression's gone, baby. It's out of there.
All right, Jeff. What do you have down for your bloodied effects?
When reduced to below 50% of PP, gain the following to intelligence, charisma, and AC of +2. May use the special things with the special weapon without using any position points.
Right.
While triggered caster doesn't provoke attack of opportunity.
Okay, good deal. That's all you need. Now, your caster's base stats. Your strength is a 10. In parentheses, you'll have a +0 to that. Your dex is a 12 with a, in parentheses, a +1. Your con is 10, so +0. Your intelligence is 14 with a +2. Your wisdom is 13 with a +1. And your charisma is 15 with a +2. And those are your base stats, and you have a 30 movement speed.
My goodness.
Now, for Jack of all trades, your base stats, 30% movement speed, 30 points of movement, or 30 feet. Your strength is 13, so +1, with a modifier of +1.
Okay, hang on. You're going too fast. I'm a slow typer.
Oh no.
I know, it's horrible. Movement speed. Feet. Okay.
Ready?
Strength.
13
Go.
with 13 with a +1.
Just one. Okay.
Dex 13 +1.
Okay.
Your con is 12 with a +1.
On 12. 1 plus 1. Okay.
Your intelligence is 12 with a +1.
12. Oh, okay.
Your wisdom
Wisdom.
is a 13 with a +1.
Okay.
And your charisma is a 12 with a +1. That's why I like that's why I like Jack of all trades in Dark Souls, is because they can literally do anything. Literally. Jeff, is there anything that you missed or need to be
Nope, I've
repeat?
got everything worked on.
All right.
I've got everything.
So we have a Jack of all trades and a caster. This is going to be good if we're just running the two of us for right now until we get a hold of Shay. God bless him. I hope he's
Shader raid.
Yeah, God bless him. I hope he's going to be okay. He had to go to the hospital tonight. Okay. Classes. This is going to take a minute for me to explain. But y'all are limited to one of the three. For Jack of all trades, you have a cleric, a herald, and a warrior. We're going to start with those three first. A cleric, so a herald is a stout warrior determined to protect themselves and their friends, and a wielder of miracles. Its primary abilities are strength and charisma. Saving throws and proficiencies is wisdom and charisma. Your armor and proficiencies are all armor, shields, and weapons as long as proficiency is met. Uh, cler- Clerics.
Clear. Yeah.
Clear. A faithful follower of the gods and a channel for their divine power on earth. Primary abilities: wisdom. Saving throws proficiencies: wisdom and charisma. Proficiencies: all armors and shield weapons as long as proficiency is met. It's kind of the same thing as everything. And the warrior: a brutal, indomitable northern fighter driven to berserk in fury. Its ability is strength. Go figure. Saving throws is strength and constitution, and of course the armor is the same. So I'm going to let y'all decide on that. Jeff, we're going to go with you. And let Derek pick which one he wants of the three. You have cleric.
Oh, I've already got it. It's gonna be the warrior.
Okay. So we're going to go with cleric, pyromancer, or sorcerer. So of course we just read the cleric off. The sorcerer, a learned scholar whose power is derived from years of study in magic tomes. Primary abilities: intelligence. Saving throw proficiencies: intelligence and wisdom, and proficiency and weapons are the same. Pyromancer, a wielder of magical fire, and not too shabby with an axe either. Charisma is its proficient ability or primary. Its saving throws is Constitution and Charisma. I'm going to tell you, the Pyromancer is like the fucking danger of all things in this game. But Sorcerer is also pretty fucking badass too. So you get one of those three.
Pyromancer.
All right. We're going to go with Derek first with the Warrior. We got to go with the... Got to get the Warrior. Where And a lot of this stuff is going to be pretty crazy. All right. You chose the warrior.
Yes, sir.
You are starting at level 1. It's going to have a proficiency bonus of +2. And
Oh, wait, wrong bit. Okay, proficiency bonus +2.
yeah, this is going to be at level 1. So you're all starting off at level 1.
That's right.
Proficiency
Yeah.
bonus +2. Cinder Wrath. This is going to be something we're going to learn together. Cinder Wrath is +2. Your class.
C-E or C-I?
C-I-N.
Cinder +2.
Yep, Cinder Wrath +2. Your class feature is Cinder Wrath and Iron Will.
Hang on just one second.
I never understood why they put animal handling in this, because you don't save the animals. You kill those animals. Everything you kill. Zombie dogs, all that shit.
Cinder Wrath and
Iron Will.
what was that? Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a picture of these two things because you need to read those.
Okay.
We'll read you'll get to read those on your own. It's relentless and devastating. But your proficiency, here is what you're going to get. We're going to do skills. You get to choose from animal handling. You get to choose 2. Animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. So you get to pick one of those 2. You get to pick 2 of those.
I know perception will be one.
Yeah, and you'll be proficient in that. These are going to be proficiencies.
Perception, and there was animal handling, survival,
Athletics,
a couple more. I just
intimidation,
athletics,
and
yeah.
nature.
I'm gonna go intimidation for my other one.
Okay, so you got perception and intimidation. So those will be your 2 proficient skills. The equipment, and please remember to write. Please write this down, and we'll talk about it, and we'll get you to those abilities soon. Your following starting equipment. This is what you get when you first start. You get 1 Estus flask, a battle axe, a warrior's round shield. So just say round shield. And you get northern armor.
Escus flask, battle axe. Round shield. Okay, so I got Escus flask, battle axe.
Estus. E-S-T-U-S.
Yeah, Estus, okay.
Estus, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find pen and pencil.
Battle axe and a round shield. Was there something else?
Battle axe, round shield, and northern armor.
Northern armor. Okay.
All right, we're gonna put a pin in that. That's for you. We're gonna have. I have a bookmark for you. That's Derek's character. Okay, this is what Cinder of Wrath is. An iron will. So for right now, all unkindled bear the mark of undeath. This is for everybody. For you, this inability to pass beyond life left, the life left you filled with the rage of your northern homeland. On your turn, you can enter a state of furious anger known as Cinder Wrath as a bonus action. These I will send a picture to. I will send you these pictures of the pages so you can get everything. But this is just for the recording. This is for Rule 0 recording for the people at home. While in this state, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee weapon attack, you gain the bonus to damage roll equal to your proficiency bonus that increases as you gain levels as a warrior. You have resistance. It's a good. This is really some fucking devastating shit. You have resistance to force, acid, poison, and necrotic damage. Your wrath lasts for 12 rounds. It ends early if you are knocked unconscious. Once you have entered a Cinder Wrath, the number of times shown for your warrior level in the appropriate column of the warrior table, you must finish a long rest before you can enter Cinder Wrath again. That's what that ability is. Now your Iron Will ability. You used to the preservation of the lands to the north. The first time you incur a level of exhaustion or madness, you may draw on your inner grit to ignore any ill effects. Once you have used this ability, you must make a long rest before you can use the ability again. Iron Will is fucking awesome. And you chose so that is your that is your character for level 1. We're going to go to We're going to go to
Yeah, send me a picture of that stuff. I'll type it in later.
Yeah, I've already got it bookmarked. I will have you set shortly. And you chose a pyromancer. That's cleric. Where is my... here we go. All right, pyromancer. So pyromancer gets at level 1, proficiency bonus +2. You get 3 attunement slots. This is important. Attunement slots, to give you a crash course, attunement slots are how many spells you can hold of different kinds. You get a set amount of each kind. So, like, if you want, since you're a pyromancer, you want fireball, which you actually are going to start out with pyromancy's flame. And I'm going to give you a spell in this game that doesn't give you one. You have to find one. I'm going to give you one, but it is actually the base spell like you get in the game. And we'll get you through there shortly. All right, so attunement slots of 3. So you need to make sure you keep those in check. Your class feature is Magic Catalyst and Spellcasting. Go figure. And I will send you I'll send you through message of what the power and life things are. I need like erase marker bookmarks. That'd be amazing. Or some fucking. All right. Of course, your saving throws are Constitution and Charisma. Those are your proficiency ones. Now, choose two from the skill proficiency skills: Arcane, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, or Religion.
So I'm gonna choose Arcane
Okay.
for one. What were the rest again?
Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion.
I'm gonna do Insight for the other one.
Okay, so you have Arcane and Insight. Now, your starting equipment: one Estus flask, one hand axe, a Cadius round shield, or just round shield, Pyromancy's robes, and a Pyromancer's flame. That's basically like your wand, but it's actually your hand that's the catalyst. And while you're doing that, I gotta use the bathroom. I cannot hold it anymore.
While he does that, I'm gonna go have a smoke.
And while you guys do that, I'm just gonna sit here and stare awkwardly into the camera.
Have fun with that.
All right. Now for the we'll when he gets back we'll do his thing. Okay, for you we're going to get your equipment set up. So I need to go to page so the Estus flask I need to go to 136. Yeah, 136. Estus flask. So this is going to be for both of y'all, but whenever he gets back, I'll reread it. Let me see here. Contains a preserved spark of living flame. The Estus flask imbues those that drink from it with renewed health and resolve. All character classes begin with an Estus flask as part of their starting equipment. Contains 3 draughts. So you get actually 3 of them instead of 1. So you get 3 Estus flasks. At 5th level, this increases to 4. At 10th level, it increases to 5. And at 17th level, it increases to 6. So here's the other part. A drought can be consumed as a bonus action. Each draught from the Estus flask restores position equal to half your base position rounded down. For example, if you're playing as a knight with 13 base position, when you drink from an Estus flask, you restore 6 position. So, for reference, we'll write it as you consume it. You can consume it as a bonus action. As a bonus action, consume. Each drought restores position equal to half your base. We're gonna get to the position in a second because I want to read that.
Hey, can you get me and Mom both a drink from Casey's?
Let's see. Your battle axe,
Bye.
Derek, is going to be on page 160, 186. Okay. So you get a battle axe. Type is axe. Strength is 11 to hold it. Now your damage. 1d8 slashing.
What the hell? One, D8. Okay.
All right, now property. Versatile. 1d10. You have.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, now special. It has a special on it. Spend 3 position after a successful attack to unleash a war cry.
One more again.
When you make on a successful attack, unleash a war cry by spending 3 position.
Damn, excuse me.
I'm looking dead at you, dog. Like, boy.
3 position.
Yeah, spend 3 position to make a war cry on a successful attack.
Okay.
Now, this is what it does. Your opponent must make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw.
$14.
Yep, on Wiz.
One S.
Saving throw or be stunned for the next turn. And that'll be it special.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go with the Warrior's Round Shield. That's 159. Let's see. All right, Warrior's Round Shield. That's just what it looks like. All right, type small shield, strength 11, AC +1. And the reason why there's a strength thing to this is because you have to have the strength to wield it. So you got your AC.
So because my strength is 13, I can wield just one at a time or both.
No, you can wield both. It's just that's the condition you need to have to wield these things. Now,
Okay.
all right. So AC +1, you got that. Now, special effect.
Mhm.
When using the warrior's round shield, this will be the part you need to write down here. Once per
Mhm.
long rest, you may spend one position to reduce damage from a ranged attack by half.
Okay.
Got everything on that?
While wielding the shield once per long rest, I can reduce a range attack by half.
By spending one position. Gotta make sure you have that. You have to spend. Again, to everybody, when y'all watch this, we are learning this together. That's why I have the giant fucking book in my face. I'm going to read the position stuff later after we get everything set up for this. Let me know when you're ready for your armor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Northern Armor. Your AC is 14 with it. Strength 11. You have that, so you're good on that.
Nope, don't do that. AC 14. Okay.
Special effect. You have resistance to cold damage. Okay, Jeff. On the Estus flask, you actually get 3 of them. That's my fault because it only says an Estus flask on the page, but you actually get 3 in total at a level 1. And let me reread. That's 36. So this one's important.
Take the lid off. It would flow better.
All character classes begin with an Estus flask as part of their starting equipment. Contains 3 draughts, so you get to take it 3 times until it's empty, until you reach a bonfire.
And 3 pills.
At 5th level, it increases to 4. At 10th level, it increases to 5, and then 17th level, it increases to 6. That's irrelevant for now. Now, here's the part that you'll need to remember. A draught can be consumed as a bonus action. Each draught from the Estus flask restores position equal to half your base position, rounded down. For example, if you're playing a knight with 13 base position, when you drink from an Estus flask, you'll restore 6. So that makes sense.
Positions your life.
I want to say it is. Like, it's like your life plus whatever else you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because
Well-
you can gain position, but you also can lose position. You can spend position. It's currency. It's life. It's everything.
I think it's just the currency of your battle, of battle. I think you actually do have a life total. I didn't get to read that
The
far.
currency should be sold.
Well, the currency is souls, and we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that after we deal with the position thing. Everything that you have in your inventory right now can be sold, but I know the currency of it and what you'll get back. For your hand axe, Mr. Jeffrey. Page 187.
Get the weenie axe. I got the battle axe. Yo.
Yeah, he's got the hand axe. No strength to wield it. You don't need any strength to wield it, so that's good. Its damage is a 1d6 slashing. And his the axe's special ability is the same as Derek's axe. You can spend 3 position after a successful attack to unleash a war cry. Your opponent must make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw or be stunned for the next turn. So you can write that down as short as you need to. And just let me know when you're ready for the next thing. Or need me to repeat.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Your Caduceus Round Shield. Caduceus.
Spell it again.
Caduceus.
Alrighty.
And that'll be the round shield. So that will be at 57. Okay. It's a small shield. Strength is 10. AC. That's 10 to wield it. So you don't have to write that down. Its AC is +1, so it gives you a +1 to your AC. And we'll get to your AC in a second for your armor, because your armors are what give you your AC. Without an armor, you have nothing. Special effects. Or whenever you're ready, I'll give you the special effects.
Alrighty.
All right, special effect. When using the round shield, here's the part. Once per long rest, you may spend 1 position to re-roll 1 failed Dex saving throw.
Okay.
All right, time for your armor and AC. You have this one's going to be good for you. Pyromancy's robes. It has an AC of 12, but you get a plus to your Dex modifier. So AC 12 plus Dex modifier. So what was your Dex? What was the Dex on here?
12, so +1.
Yeah, so you'll get a +1 added to it. So your AC will be 13 total. All right, special effects. When wearing this robe, this is here's a special. You reduce any fire damage you receive by 5 to a minimum of 1. So I'm guessing that's every 5 points of fire damage you reduce it to 1. page 1209. I was a little too close. Here we go. Whenever you're ready, we'll get your next equipment.
Yep, I'm
All right.
ready.
Okay, I'm not looking, I'm reading. So, okay.
Yep.
Pyromancy's Flame. This is your catalyst for a Pyromancer. Special. It has no abilities except for its property. Its property is light. So that'll be something you need to remember. And it's special. You spend one position after a successful melee attack to deal 1d4 fire damage. So if you run out of spells, and you want to hit something with a Pyromancy's Flame, like slap a bitch with it, you can spend a position point to deal 1d4 of fire damage. One thing we're going to do for you is we're going to go back to the table of contents. One 16.
Yeah, I left the door unlocked for it.
All right. We're gonna give you the base first spell because every Pyromancer gets one. I don't know why they didn't put it in the starting equipment, but just because of the game, I'm gonna give it to you instead of trying to find it. All right, so you get a one spell called Fireball. That's the one thing. Casting time is one action. To cast is 3 points. Or cast, you get 3. You get 3 casts of it, so you'll get a number of 3. So you get 3 fireballs. Duration's instantaneous. We gotta worry about that. The range is 120 feet. And the restriction level is level 1. It uses. You'll hold 1 attunement slot for it, so it costs 1 attunement to hold it, and its cost is 1 position. So now the effect. You can choose a target within range. Create a false small fireball. Poof! Hit somebody with it at 120 feet. All right. The enemy creature suffers 1d6 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, fire damage, or half damage on successful dex saving throw against your spell DC.
Alrighty.
And you were gone for this one, so you get the 2 following things, which for the class is the magical catalyst and the spell casting. This is for the recording. For magic catalyst, you possess a catalyst enabling you to use magic. Your own Pyromancy Flame, allowing you to cast spells, which we've done that already. You also know the Fireball spell, so you do get that. I did not read that part. I'm glad I did, because I gave you a spell that actually gives you the spell anyway. The second proficiency is spellcasting. You have learned to draw on the surging elemental power of the fire. See Chapter 3 of Magic and Miracles, blah, blah, blah. For the general rules of spellcasting and spell listing for the Pyromancy spell list, Pyromancies use Charisma as their spellcasting ability. So I think that would be your spell DC when we were reading that fireball spell, because it uses charisma as their spellcasting ability. We're gonna go back to table of contents. Let's see. We did all of that. Chapter 2. We're going to go to core rules and modify. We're going to go to the core rules, page 66. We already know what half of this stuff is. We're going to kind of skim over that part. Let's see. Position. Here it is. We got it. Careful management of health and stamina is critical to success. Unlike traditional role-playing games, Dark Souls, the role-playing game does not use hit points to represent the character's vitality, and instead it uses position. So you were right, Derek. Position is not only representation of abstraction of health and stamina, but also enables players to affect dice rolls and use key abilities, adding strategic layer to any common action. So I need to go back for a second on the see, it doesn't say. Okay, we're gonna have to look at that for a second. Okay, we'll just read on and we'll see what happens. All right. Each character's base position is equal to their current level plus their constitution modifier, and the maximum level of dice and their position pool. If a character's position is reduced to 0, the character is killed. At first level, a character's base position is equal to. So here's where we got to get important for the position. At first level, a character's base position is equal to Constitution modifier plus maximum value of their origin's position dice plus current level. For example, a knight with Constitution of 15 with a +2 modifier and a brute origin 1d10 position at first level has a base position pool of 13. So 2 plus 10 plus 1. Alright, let's re-look at the origins. Because I think I skipped over something somehow. Okay, let me read that again. So Constitution modifier, maximum value of Origin's position dice plus current level. So okay. So your position dice is 1d8 per jack of all trades. Then the Constitution. So Constitution would be 12 plus 1. So 12, 1. we're just going to say the max is 8. So 8 plus 1 and your level, so plus 1. So, Derek, your your position pool is 8 for right now. For the caster, ew, that's gonna be bad. 6 plus 0 plus your level, so 7. You get a 7. So those are your
What
position
did
pools.
you say mine was?
8. Yours is 8. Because it's con modifier plus maximum value of Origin's position dice and current level. So everyone's current level is 1. The position dice is 1d8, so the maximum, because it says maximum value. And your con modifier, constitution modifier. So, yep. You get Derek position is 8. Jeff is position of 6.
Yep.
So hey, we're learning as we go. That's what the rule 0. That's the rule 0 session's all about, everybody. So that's how your modifier works for the position. At every level after first level, when you level up a character, increases their base position as shown below. Current base position, which is the maximum value, plus con modifier. If your character starts at level 1, then when you level up, you increase your base position by simply adding your modifier. If your game is starting at a higher level, when you include your level as shown on the Origin's position at a higher level, this little boost is to reflect the lack of improved equipment you'll have been able to equip yet. It's not a lot, but it might just help. During combat, characters will increase their position by rolling a number of position dice, determined by the Origin's level, to generate an additional temporary position. Okay, so during combat, you'll get to roll your dice modifier, your position dice, which is, of course, the 1d8 for you, Derek, and for Jeff, you get a 1d6. So then you'll get to add to your fight, add before your fight starts. Let's see. Yeah, during combat, we'll increase the position by rolling a number of position dice determined by the origin and level, to generate an additional temporary position. Let's see. Position pool in and out of combat. Position is vital for. I am dyslexic, so if you hear me go a lot, I'm so sorry. To y'all and to the people who are going to be watching this. Position is vital for a character to include to combat, but also plays a key role in other dangerous situations, such as stumbling into a trap, being poisoned, or falling for a height, amongst many other dangerous events in the world of Dark Souls. I know that all too well. Out of combat, all damaging effects are dictated from the character's current position. In combat, however, things are a little different. Once the GM has announced that the combat is about to begin, the initiative has been determined. Characters gain an additional temporary position. Be this a surge of adrenaline or an experienced fighter understanding the battlefield, this temporary boost is vital for survival. So in other words, if I state that we're going into combat and I will determine your initiative, you will get to roll those dice, that one dice, and you get to add to that during combat. And then once combat is out, it's gone. In addition to temporary position, is calculated when a character first acts in combat and is added to the character's current position. Being surprised in combat is therefore really rather dangerous. Okay, using position. Position can be expanded to represent that little extra effort. Do you want to burn your enemies with a great chaos fireball, or did you miss the vital blow that might have turned the fight into your favor? Perhaps. The enemy only just managed to survive when a little more damage might have killed them. This is where strategic use of position is critical to your character's survival. Some abilities, or spells can only be triggered by using position by spending the specified amount for a character's position total. These costs are noted in the description of the spell or ability where appropriate. Alternative positions can be spent to modify dice rolls to increase damage or attempt difficult and improvised actions. But beware, positions may only be used once per activation, so careful timing is key. And this is why you will probably prepare to die a lot, because like how Jeff has to, he's going to have to use like one position to cast fireballs. Some restriction, spending points. Some restrictions, you can only ever spend position points on yourself. You may only spend position points once per turn. You cannot trigger critical effects by spending position points. Common uses are increase the result of a dice roll by one per position. There is no limit to how much position you can spend on an attack roll, so you could roll a 1, and if you had a sufficient point position, a hit to hit a creature with an AC of 20, but in doing so, leave yourself much more vulnerable to an enemy attack. Increase your melee or ranged attack damage roll by 5 points as a minimum. You can increase damage by however much you wish. Spend position on a 1-to-1 basis. You must always spend a minimum 5 position points to do so, unless using a weapon special ability like Jeff here. If his bonus, like let's say Jeff, you have 6 position. You use 2 of your fireballs, and then you use like a couple of like one, and some enemy hits you for like one of your positions. At that point, you now have the ability to use your bloodied effect, so you can use a special ability, like your axe, or like a weapon, a special weapon you'll get. You'll be able to use that point, and then you can use the ability to actually not use to spend a position point and just use the special ability without having to use the casting restriction. You can also increase your movement. Gain plus 5 feet of movement per position spent. Maximum movement may be gained in this way is equal to your base speed value. If a player thinks a particular increased or ingenious use of position, when the GM would feel free to dictate a cost. You gotta worry about all that. But that's like those are the simple uses. Helping a companion. Sometimes 2 or more characters team up to attempt a task. This is basically like this is the D&D aspect. Using each ability, which is strength checks, attack rolls and damage, lifting and carrying. That's something we'll learn as we go through the game. Lifting and carrying is more of like because you'll be like having to move shit, or like you'll find like invisible walls or some shit, and it's like you'll have to use something to activate the walls or some shit to like carry something over. Let's see. Dex, con, intelligence. We'll get to that during when you need it. It's all the same thing. Wisdom does animal handling, shit like that. Saving throws. That's pretty much it. All right. Here's when the fun starts. Souls, experience, and leveling. This is where y'all are going to need to pay attention to the math. Leveling up your character is a key part of Dark Souls. The more of the world of Lothric the Unkindled experience, the more powerful and skillful they become. Survival isn't easy, of course, but for those who manage to fight their way through the ranks of the demons and undead, there must be some reward. Collecting souls. Souls are automatically collected by killing enemies. When the enemies are killed, each player gains an equal share of the souls. So if one of you kills a creature and you get 75 souls, the other player also gets 75 souls. So you can also find souls by exploring. So like Soul of a Lost Warrior, Soul of a Proud Knight. Certain souls like that, you can use those and you can actually sell them. We're gonna say pop them like how the video game is. You can pop it and you can collect that amount of souls that it gives you, or you can sell it and it also gives you the exact same as souls. Also, you can sell equipment that you find, shit like that, all that kind of stuff. The value of these souls are listed in chapter and equipment. So I'll look at that. If you die, here's the kicker. If you die, however, you lose all the collected souls, because if you kill an enemy, this doesn't add to your experience. Like, you get an experience bar, right? So how Dark Souls works is you get a soul accumulation pool. So the soul accumulation pool is when you kill an enemy, you get those 75 souls. If you look at your screen, you got a little on the left down here, on the right down here, you get a soul count. So it'll jump up for every time you get souls, and that's how much is in your soul pool. Now, and if you pop a soul, one of the souls that you find out in the world, it'll add to your soul pool there too. That soul pool is very vital to your game. If you die, you lose it. And I mean, you will lose it, but you'll revive at a bonfire in this game, and you have a chance to go get it back. So it'll be in a little spot where you died last. But when you die, all the enemies that you killed come back. It's like you never left. So the exact same way how they... What's that? Sorry.
I said it sounds like we're going to be doing some soul farming.
Exactly. You're going to be doing some soul farming. But I determine how many creatures are going to be there at the beginning of the area, the map that we're going to be in. Or that y'all are going to be in. I ain't going to be there. I'm going to be your god whispering in your ear. Well, the god of gods. You do lose any... you do not lose the souls you've already spent. So, like, if you... spend it on your level and all this other shit, don't worry about it. That's going to be gone. It's going to be consumed, but that's your stuff. So, let's say, Derek, you die, and you had like 8,000 souls, and you're pissed that you lost all those souls, like any Dark Souls player would be, or Elden Ring player. You have to when you revive back at that bonfire, there's going to be effects that we'll get to later in the game. When we start the game, we'll do those effects later. But when you rest at that bonfire or revive at that bonfire, your Estus flask will restock. You'll have 0 souls, and then you have to go fight through all those enemies to go get that 8,000 souls back. But if you die again without getting those souls back, you lose those souls forever. Lose them. Yep, you'll lose them forever. When you're spending souls, a player removes the corresponding number of souls from their collected soul total and adds them to their spent soul total. Souls can be spent to purchase items, spells, and visiting merchants, and some non-player characters. So like once I give y'all vendors and all that shit and stuff to be able to do stuff, you'll get there. Characters also use souls to level up by spending them at a bonfire. Characters can only level up at a bonfire and can't spend souls to increase their level anywhere else. The number of levels of the character increases corresponding to the number of souls spent shown on the opposite table, which is this right here. So to give you an idea of how the souls are spent, at level 0 is 0, so 1. To level up, you get 300 souls to turn to level 2. 900 souls to level 3. 2,700 to level 4, 6,500 to 5, 14,000 to 6, 23,000 to 7, 43,000 to 8, all the way down to level 20 at 355,000 souls. That's going to be a little rough because some of this stuff is going to make y'all die a lot. And this is to give y'all a grasp of how this is going to work, it's going to take a while. Like a while. So bosses and all that shit is going to probably be redone over and over again. Because you may die, you'll have to refight the boss that has its life redone. We're going to nick the mountain vehicles because we're not going to do vehicles in this campaign. You can, but you don't have to. We're not going to. Difficult terrain, forced march, travel places. So you can travel from bonfire to bonfire. I'm going to allow that to happen where we can travel to bonfire by just saying, hey, I want to go to this menu and pop into there. So that we can deal with that later. Because the traveling to places and distance equals like a minute, 400 feet, an hour, 40 miles, or 4 miles. That's a fast pace. A day, 30 miles, which is a -5 penalty to your passive wisdom perception score, which is pretty fucking stupid. This part I never understood when I read it the first time. I never understood the traveling, but I think it's for when you do open world shit like how Elden Ring is. Because they kind of got it where you can do Elden Ring stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. But we're not doing that. We're going to nick the special movement. We're going to nick for the game. We're going to nick the special types of movement, which is climbing, swimming, and crawling. The only other thing that's going to stay the same is the stealth. But no one's a stealth character. But y'all can try. Y'all can definitely fucking try. And I'm going to love it when y'all do. But we will keep the environment: falling, vision, light, blind spots, true sight, dark vision, suffocating. That's new. That one's actually kind of bad. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that when the game starts. Let's see. Okay. Resting, death, and respawning. Resting, either short or long, is a key element of adventuring. It allows a player character to restore position, recover abilities, like just pyromancy. It'll restore the three spell casts, and you can also add a bonfire. You can switch spells out doing through attunement. That'll be important for you. And if you, Derek, if you want to, Derek, you can learn spells. Like you'll eventually be able to learn spells through like casting stuff and shit like that. But you'll learn it eventually if you want to. But you still have to find a catalyst. he gets a catalyst innately because he's a pyromancer. So if you wanted to play as a jack of all trades, you'll be able to cast spells just because of jack of all trades. So that'll be something you can deal with when you get into a higher level. Short rest period, short rest, long rest, bonfires. We'll get to that one. Long rest is a period of 8 hours or more spent at a bonfire. Player characters can only ever long rest at a bonfire. Bonfires are spread throughout the world. For more information, go to that later, because I can set how many bonfires are in the world. A bonfire is a remnant of the flame and is a place where the unkindled are reborn again and again, even if they are killed. Whenever a player characters wish to long rest, whenever a character players wishes to long rest, they must find a bonfire. The kindled only can restore long rest abilities and gain stuff from there. Blah blah blah. Base full base position, like you can restore that. While at a bonfire, a player character cannot be attacked, and while resting, they do not need to roll for a random encounter. The flame keeps all of the many threats from the world at bay. So if you get into a spot that y'all can't get into, y'all can take a action of retreat. I'll allow that. An action of retreat to run back to a bonfire and immediately rest at it. And then it'll reset the whole world. So everything dies down, threats are gone, and you'll be able to reset and reevaluate before attacking the enemies again. Characters' deaths and bonfires. When a player is reduced to 0 position, they are dead. In the world of Dark Souls, however, this is not the end. So no death saving throws. Instead, the player character will reawaken sometime later at a site of the last bonfire they visited. When a player character dies, they lose all of their collective souls, but when they awaken and restore to full base position and all of their abilities are once gained again, ready to use. Determine the nearest bonfire base, blah blah blah, we're currently exploring. If a player has not visited or rested at a bonfire, if can still be used at a closest bonfire or purpose of awakening after being killed. If more than half of a party of player characters are killed, they have failed. This is important. If more than half of the party of player characters are killed, they failed. Instead, the player character will reawaken sometime later at the nearest bonfire where they died. This is the respawn problem. Here's where effects kind of get into play. As noted previously, when a character dies, they respawn at the nearest bonfire. They lose all collected souls, but are otherwise returned to full position and all their abilities restocked. When a player respawns when a player character respawns, it's up to them. Though they cannot rejoin the battle that killed them if it continues. So, let's say you're in a boss fight, because I'm gonna kind of be lenient on this part because I did read this quite a bit to understand it. So if y'all are in a boss fight, Derek, you're fucking headstrong. You're the jack of all trades. You're beating feet. You're casting spells. You're slinging your axe everywhere, or whatever weapon I decide to give you or you find in the game. You're still fighting. Jeff lost all his abilities, and then finally positioned out and died. He will go back to a bonfire, and he'll have to sit there for a minute until either A, you died, or you defeat the boss. And then we'll have to restart it all over again. Y'all failed the mission, and then you'll have to restart, and then you'll have to fight all the enemies again to get to the boss again. Okay. We're going to skip some of this. This has to do with the memories and all that.
So even if I kill the boss, we still have to restart if Jeff dies?
No. If you killed the boss, you win. We're going to... The whole, because there's only 2 of you right now until we get... until we get another player in, because I don't think Shade's going to be able to play this with us because of the timing. Because we're probably going to have to do this during like the week or like once every other week, depending on time,
Okay.
what time permits. Because he's working. He works later than most of us anyway. So we'll have to find
Yeah.
another player to come in with us, and I'll have to redo this Rule 0 thing, but we're not going to record that part. We'll just speed run them through the whole thing, and then we'll get on with our day.
Yeah. Get
So
them set up off.
so here's what's going to happen. When a player respawns, they must succeed a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw, or should fail, they must roll the Hollowing effect table. This one I love. I love this so much. The Hollowing effect table is a 1 through 20. Roll me a d20. Let's say you failed. Y'all roll me a d20. Just for shits and giggles.
14.
Okay, you got a 14.
Well,
And you got a 12. So 14. Indifference. Death does not care about you. Why should it? You are merely one more thing cursed to resist your natural end. No change occurs. You are fine. Even if you failed the DC saving throw, you are fine. You have no thing. You said you rolled a 12. Dismal. Any joy or laughter you use to retain is entirely gone. Reduce your starting charisma score by -1.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so you are either A, going to have a curse or an effect of a hollowing effect until you rest at a bonfire again. Or not rest at a bonfire, whenever you die again. So you're going to have that effect, and then it restarts. So if you die again, it's wiped, and then you'll have to roll a DC saving throw again to get a new effect. It's pretty fucking funny. Let's see. You're going to get the exhaustion. We're going to do the exhaustion thing. Yeah. Some special abilities and environmental hazards such as starvation and long-term effects of freezing, scorching, temperature can lead to special conditions called exhaustion. Exhaustion is measured at 6 levels of an effect. Can be given by a creature. One or more levels of exhaustion specified in the effect description. Effects description. Effects as disadvantages on ability checks. Speed is halved. Disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Reduce temporary position pool by half. That's going to fuck y'all up if y'all don't rest at bonfires. After rolling the start...
I'm going to rest at every bonfire I've come across. I ain't even gonna lie. Bonfires are going to be my best friends.
At level 5, your speed is reduced to 0. And at level 6, death. It just says death. At exhaustion level 6. But the hazards, you're gonna have to rest the bonfire to get rid of the exhaustion. Yeah, so that'll happen. There's other effects: blind, burning, charm, deafen, frightened, grapple. That's still going to be an effect of the game. Shut up. Incapacitated, invisible, paralysis, petrified. Which that's a scary one for y'all. Yeah, that one's going to be that's going to be a very bad one. Poisoned, prone, restrained, stuns, surprised, unconscious. That's all D&D stuff, but the petrified is a good one. I'm gonna like that one a lot because curses. The fuck was that?
Yeah.
Somebody driving by my house with a motorcycle.
Oh, that fucking scared the piss out of me. God damn.
I thought you just ripped some mean ass.
Somebody, I'm gonna lie, someone took a shit, y'all. Need to change that underwear.
Whoa.
Madness.
Jesus.
We have madness. Going mad. There are several situations in which a character might be struck by temporary madness, succumb to the delusion, or having their mental equilibrium unsettled. The GM can call for such a check after any situation by blah blah blah. Let's see. Equals the number plus the number of previous episodes of madness. Okay. Okay. Madness effects. Madness can be short term, long term, or indefinite. That's going to be fun. I might do that. Most relative mundane effects oppose short term madness, which lasts for a few minutes. More horrific effects or cumulative effects can result in long term or indefinite madness. A character afflicted by short term madness is subjected to an effect from the short term madness table for 1d20 plus 10 minutes. Damn. So the short term madness table is a D100. So the textile dice. 1 through 20, the character retreats into their mind and becomes paralyzed. The effect ends if the character takes any damage. 21 through 30, the character becomes incapacitated and spends the duration screaming, laughing, or weeping. 31 through 40, the character becomes frightened and must use their action and movement each round to flee from the source of their fear. 1 through 50, their character begins babbling and is incapable of normal speech or spell casting. So that one's going to be very effective towards Jeff if I use it, or when I use it, because some of these creatures actually also give you madness. Let's see. Character must use their action around, each round to attack their nearest creature. Character experiences vivid hallucinations and has disadvantages on ability checks. Character does whatever anyone tells them to do that isn't obvious self-destructive. The character experiences an overwhelming urge to eat something strange, such as dirt, slime, or offal. We'll probably look at that later. The next one is character is stunned. The last one is the character falls unconscious. The indefinite. Oh man, the indefinite one is worse. Oh, this is so bad. It's like look at that. That's just the temporary. That's the immediate and indefinite table. It's paragraphs. It's a fucking paragraph. One of them is the character suffers from potential amnesia. The character knows who they are but fails to recognize other people or remember anything that happened before the madness took effect. Whenever a character takes damage, they must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be affected as though they failed a saving throw against the Confusion spell. The Confusion effect lasts for 1 minute. The character loses the ability to speak. The character falls unconscious. No amount of jostling or damage can wake the character after 2 hours in this state. They die and awake at the nearest bonfire. That's the last one. You will die immediately after 2 hours of being unconscious. This is great. This is going to be fun. But that's like the core rules. All that is the core rules. The combat's a little different. Yeah, this is something I'm going to have to reread, because there's going to be like a lot of stuff that can come in and fuck you up. Okay, that's that. because I need to know. Piece of paper fell. All right, I need. Let's see. That's objects are interacting, creature size, space. That's not what I'm looking at. Actions and combat. This one. This is the one I need to know. And also you guys. Let's see. Hand-to-hand combat, melee, blah blah blah. 5 feet. Opportunity attacks. That's the same, basically the same thing. 2 weapons. Bloodied conditions. Defense cover. Bloody conditions. Okay, so basically it's the same. All right, so the bloody condition pertains when a player, character, or creature's starting position pool is equal to or beneath half their total, rounded down. For example, a player with a starting position of 50 becomes bloodied when they are down to 25. A creature with 150 it'll get bloodied when its pool reaches 75. The number of which blah blah blah. Okay, that's that. I'm trying to see, like, so like what, like, you know how when you have to make a roll to attack to the AC. I'm trying to see what determines, like, because you know your stuff is positions, right? So I'm trying to see where. Let's see. Instead of using a weapon to make a melee weapon attack, you can use an unarmed strike, kick, headbutt. Wow, you can headbutt somebody. Or similar forceful blows. Contest. That's a contest thing. That'll be when we're actually doing combat. Y'all can use the parry ability, so y'all be able to parry things. Ready yourself to intercept a turn aside your opponent's blow is a vital part of surviving combat. You can use your reaction to increase your AC by +2 against one melee attack that would hit you. So that's basically this. Once per turn, you'll be able to do your AC, I think, or like once per thing. But you have to ready yourself a turn before, if I'm remembering that right. But it's not telling me the... Because y'all need to know the combat for this, and so do I. Core rules... Missions event objects resting combat 96. Let's see. Okay, initiative used to determine to attack whose attacks when and during combat. Initiative works slightly different in Dark Souls. Each creature might confront each creature the characters might confront as an enemy or who might fight beside them as an ally possesses a fixed initiative value. This number is between 1 and 20. When a player character is determined their initiative, they roll a d20 and add their initiative modifier to it. Rather than determining the fixed position of a linear order, however, it merely tells a player character whether they act before or after a creature. So basically, same rules as D&D. The rule is simple. If a character rolls equal or above the enemy's creature's initiative value, they are fast and act before a creature. If the roll, this is where it gets complicated. The rule is simple. If a character rolls equal or above the enemy creature's initiative value, they are fast and act before the creature. If they roll under, they are slow, and act after a creature. After the creature. The actual order in which a player character takes their action, either before or after the creature, is up to the players themselves. In order to, this order is not fixed, but remains fluent in the dynamic, enabling characters to pursue different tactics and combinations. The only fixed element in it is whether a player character goes before or after the enemy creature. If a player characters are facing several different enemies, each with a different initiative value, then the creatures use the initiative value for the creature with the highest challenging rating, even if the creature's initiative is lower than their initial value. If a player characters are facing multiple creatures and two or more creatures have the same high value, then the creatures act on their initiative of the creatures with the highest intelligence. If after this another tiebreaker is required, then the decision is made up to the DM. Okay, that's new. Bonus actions, various class feature spells, and other abilities let you take an additional action. Yeah, that's for another day. I'm still trying to figure out where actions of combat. Attack. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Yeah, here we go. Actions in combat. When you take an action on your turn, you can take one of the action presented here. In action, you gain from your class or special feature or an action that you improvise. Many monsters have action positions of their own in their own stat block. Attack. The most common action to take in combat is the attack action, which everyone knows that. You attack and only attack. You beat the fuck out of something. Whether you are swinging a sword, firing an arrow from above, or brawling with your fist, with the action you make on a melee or ranged attack, see the making an attack section for the rules that govern attacks. Okay. When you make an attack, your attack roll determines whether the attack hits or misses. To take an attack, you roll a d20 and add the appropriate modifiers. That's very simple. If the total of your roll modifier equals or exceeds the target's amount of AC, this attack hits. The AC is determined by the stat block. Casting a spellcasters such as sorcerers, clerics, as well as many monsters have access to spells and can use them to great effect in combat. Each spell has a casting time, specifically how long it requires to use such magic casting as a spell. Casting a spell, therefore, not necessarily an action. Most spells do have a casting time of one action, so a spellcaster often uses his or her action in combat to cast such spells. Okay, that's something close to what I'm looking for, but not what I'm actually looking for. We're going to take a quick break, or are y'all ready to call it for now? Because we've been here for 2 hours. You're muted for some reason. Hold on.
I was very good. I muted myself because I printed off something.
All right.
You look like you're trying to fall asleep over there, bud.
There you go. I need to do something. I need to do something real fast. Hold on.
It's just a D&D character sheet. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
I'm gonna go for a smoke real quick.
Oh, Mom,
All right.
I think there was no way in hell I would be able to get out of third place.
A lot of talking. I can't have that on the recording. Anyway, all right. So at the moment, I'm still confused on the combat situation. Like, I can't tell if it's like you go by, like, if you get hit, you lose a position point. I'm not particularly sure. I'm guessing that's what that does. Let me look at let's see, monsters. Let's look at monsters and we'll determine that real quick, real fast. That's the Cemetery of Ashes. What is this? 375. What's that? Hold up. My God. One of your bosses that you have to fight, Jeff, or Derek, its position is 676.
That sounds a little unfair.
It's called. His name is called Yorm the Giant. He's one of the big giants. Like how you know those armored golems that are in Elden Ring that have the bow or like the big giant, like the red all over them. Well,
Golem giants, yeah.
well he's as big as that, and he's one of the actual giants, like fleshy giants.
Oh. So he's not as big as the fire giant?
He's the same size. He's about the same size. But you have but you get a special weapon to fight him, but I ain't going to tell you that. Its challenge rating is 30, but when you kill Yorm, you both get 155,000 souls.
Dang, that's like a quarter of the way to level 20.
Mm-hmm. It has a... Oh my God. It has a multi-attack, has a wide sweep, heavy swipe, battle shout, slam. I can spend 50... Oh my God, I ain't gonna tell you all that. That one's mine. That's mine to know. It has a swipe, a wide sweep. It's a plus 19 to hit. Reach is 20 feet, one target. Hit is 46, so 8d8 plus 10 slashing damage. If the attack roll would have hit a creature within 10 feet of the target, they resolve the damage as if their additional creature has been targeted. So it can hit multiple people. Bruh, this is so crazy. All creatures within 120 feet of Yorm the Giant must immediately make a DC 27 Charisma saving throw or be stunned until the end of Yorm's next turn. He's one of, like, the last bosses you gotta kill. Oh, check it out. This is one of the bosses you have to fight.
change. That's all that's gonna be.
That's Calamite, the dragon. I hate that dragon. I'm actually fighting that dragon right now in my Dark Souls game. The Dark Souls 1? Yeah. Black Dragon Calamite. Gargantuan Dragon. God damn.
Little Bajuka Bog. Hell yeah, dude. What up, printer? Nobody asked.
Oh yeah, check it out. You get a character sheet in the back.
Hell yeah.
So you'll get the character sheet in the back, which gives you all the proficiencies and all that shit. And throughout the game, you're going to find better armor and all that shit. You'll definitely find better armor, better spells, better weapons. The funny thing is, Jeff's character is going to have like one of the best arsenals when it comes to pyromancies. Because one of them is an undead Rappaport, and he can make enemies your friend for a while. But the way the world is going to be, like, I'm going to sprinkle a lot of stuff everywhere. It's basically going to be like exactly like how Dark Souls 1 and 3 is put together. With the armors all sprinkled everywhere, stuff like that. Jeff saw some of these bosses already that I showed the picture of.
Yeah.
But I will say some of these creatures are like fucking hateful. Like, they are hateful. What are these? Denizens of the Darkness, demons. Like one of them is a dark wraith. It has a position dice of 67, and its passive perception is 12, but it has some of the dumbest shit. Oh, Jeff, since we were talking about position and all that stuff, one of the creatures that y'all have to fight is called Yorm the Giant. His position dice, or his health pool, is 676. Like, what the fuck, dude? It has a +9 saving throws to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. It's super fucking busted. It's great. I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of this. I'm gonna make y'all fucking hurt. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple of things here that's going to help y'all out when it comes to like items. Some of these items I'm going to have to really look into. So the difficulty rating for most of these creatures are at 30. It has difficulty tasks of 5 to 30. 5 being very easy, 30 being nearly impossible. That Yorm the Giant is a 30. It's nearly impossible to kill him. Unless you got some good players on your side. And not so hateful of a DM.
All right, boys. I think I'm gonna call it for the night. I'm gonna head out. I'm
Okay.
dozing over here. All right,
I found
love you,
the
boys.
I found the thing I needed to when it's coming to use positions for combat. Like if you yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll holler at you tomorrow or something.
Yeah, what's it called? I'll send y'all the pictures of the things that y'all need to look at and read. For like your light and for like some of your like it's like a story. If I'm looking at it proper, it looks like a story y'all need to look into or have. Yeah, this is like an ability. This is like an ability that you can add to yourself at your discretion.
Right.
So yeah, I'll send
Right.
you those pictures tonight or tomorrow.
All
And
right, sounds good. We'll talk
all
to you
that good
later.
stuff. All right, everybody. This has been. Well, he didn't have to. He could have said bye to the chat because we were recording. But anyway, y'all take it easy, everybody. This has been your boy Jen in the group for the Rule Zero session for our Dark Souls campaign that we'll be starting sometime soon. Y'all take it easy, everybody, and we will catch y'all in the live stream for tomorrow, where I'll be doing some more actual Dark Souls gameplay. So take it easy, everybody, and peace out.